Sorry, this chair's squeaking.
We'll
all right,
have
I'm
music in the background.
really self-conscious about it. All right, so as you know, today I'm competing. I'm competing in APL states to qualify for the nationals. I'm just doing some token lifts. Nothing crazy. Probably looking for 350, 220, 350, but we'll wait and see. Nothing crazy for your boy. But we'll see. You know, I could lower those, I could increase those a little bit. The goal is just walk out with some RP7s, max RP8 lifts.
Look at your cheeky face.
Because I already got in my head I'm going to go above 350, but I have to wait and see what it looks like and feels like. What I wanted to do before we go is I'm just about to have a feed. I'm about to have an explosive custom macros, a penne chicken feed. Before I eat, like I said, you don't need a lot. You don't need to eat a lot before a comp or anything, just something with a little bit of sodium, some carbs, some protein, not too much fat and stuff to get you through. What I wanted to do is before we leave, this will probably be a 2-part video because it's going to be a long day. Before I leave, I wanted to show you what I pack into my gym bag for comp day. It's all pretty straightforward, but there might be 1 or 2 things you miss out or you forget. Everyone always forgets something before their comp, so you can use this for that. You know, I used to stress about packing for comp days and weeks before, and I'll pack my bag a week out. Now I just do it the day before.
And almost forget your deadlift socks.
And almost forget my deadlift socks, yeah, so I probably should have done it a week out. Almost forgot my deadlift socks. Other than that, with the video, you know, Danny, she's got 2 grade 2 tears in her ankle. She tripped over her own feet on the way to work the other day.
Why do you have to add that in? Why can't you just say I fell?
This video is about me.
Oh.
So Danny tore 2 ligaments in her ankle, so she can't really walk, so she's gonna do the best she can. That's why we're using the tripod. She's gonna do the best she can getting footage and that, but it's gonna be probably a little bit less than usual. I'm sure she'll do fine. She's a bit nervous about it. But I want to just show you how a comp runs. A lot of you haven't competed or you're fairly new to competing, so I want to show you how this comp specifically runs, this APL comp. Maybe we'll get some footage in the car. I don't know. I'm not the creative mind behind this channel. That is Danny. All right, straight to it. What do I have in my gym bag? This is not in order of importance. Well, there's one thing that's really important, but there's no order of importance here. It's generally just your equipment and, you know, not forgetting anything. So, number 1, my belt. Can't lift without your belt, obviously. Well, you can, but you don't want to. It makes it harder. Got my belt. Very beautiful belt here. It's got the Yeti in it. What up? Very nice and thick. I'm not doing an ad, by the way. I love this belt a lot. So I got my belt. Obviously, the one you use in training. All the equipment you compete in is equipment you should use in training. Don't add any new variables on competition day. I always get people, they want to try something new on comp day. They want to try a new form. They want to try a new piece of equipment. They want to, you know, try new cues. And comp day is the day you don't change anything. Everything stays the same. I eat the same. I drink the same. I sleep the same. Everything's the same as your heavy lifts. Don't change shit. Next is my wraps. So got my Oz Strength wraps. I'm obviously doing wrap squats today, so can't forget those. Pretty straightforward. If you're a wrap squatter, you're not gonna forget your wraps, or you're gonna lose 30, 40, 50 kilos off your squat. Deadlift socks. Probably the number 1 item I see people forget in competition, and they're running around looking and asking to borrow socks. It's really gross. I'll always lend my socks, but I don't like sharing socks. It's a little bit weird to me. I have a thing about feet. I get really like, grossed out about it. So, you know, if you use my socks, just keep them, please, because I'll never wear them again. But deadlift socks, always forgotten about. Put these in your bag as soon as you buy them. I swear to God, like I get, like, just bring your deadlift socks. Like, I don't want you to wear my socks. Now, something people usually never do, but is also important for a couple reasons, is extra underwear. Now, why? 1, sometimes accidents happen, especially when people are refeeding after cutting weight. So spare undies, really important. But 2, some feds have regulations on what underwear you can wear and what kind you can wear. And sometimes you might read the rules a little bit wrong. You might not have read the rules at all. So just bring a pair that's a little bit different to what you're wearing. It's always good practice to chuck in some Y-fronts, just some jocks into your bag, just in case you need it for comp day and you didn't know that was a rule. So undies, don't forget these. You don't want to shit yourself, not have a change, and you don't want to have to compete without anything on. I don't even know if you can. I'm sure you can. But you don't want to have to because the suits show everything. Sleeves. I don't know why that word was so hard for me to say. Don't forget your sleeves, even if you're a wrap squatter. Again, people don't usually forget this kind of stuff, so that's pretty straightforward. It's pretty basic stuff. Again, your shoes. Don't forget the shoes you're lifting. Don't change your shoes on comp day, especially if you've been training in a shoe that has a nice flat heel and you compete in something like the IPF where you can't have heels up bench, and then you chuck on a new pair of Cons or a new pair of Vans or something, and when you're benching, it looks like the heel's raised when it's not. It's just the shape of the shoe. It's a really easy way to get called. So use the shoes you train in. Again, just all these little technical things you see people miss lifts for all the time or get reds for when they really didn't need to. Wrist wraps, obviously, and your singlet. I have seen someone forget a singlet at competition once. I've been competing for a long time, so not very common. Please don't forget it. Now, a couple of little quality of life tips for you. Things that people forget or don't realize. So in this you pick up over competing, like, and there's nothing groundbreaking. You'll be like, oh, new shit, but you will forget it. Headphones, phone charger, and headphone charger. Right? You don't want you should charge these the day before, but you don't want them to go flat on comp day before your big lifts, and that happens a lot. It's a pain in the ass pairing Bluetooth devices with other people's phones so they can use it for lifting. Now, you do it because you want them to lift well, but there's a lot of mishaps that can happen. It doesn't always connect. There's a lot of people, I don't know how the science behind it works, but that's something. Also, really importantly, Panadol, in case you hurt yourself, you know, in case you hurt your elbows are sore after squatting, like, 400 kilos. I'm sure you guys all squatting that much. I have faith in you. These, in case you need to then squat or deadlift and you're in a little bit of pain. Again, it's not gonna take the pain away from a torn muscle, but those little aches and niggles we pick up on the day helps with a lot. And with that said, Rapid Gel. This is the last thing. Rapid Gel. Second last thing, sorry. What this is it's an anti-inflam and painkiller like deep heat and stuff, but it's got menthol in it. It's not hot, and it's made for horses. So, half horse, half man, Rapid Gel kind of thing. So you can get it from the chemist though, humans do use it. Way better than things like deep heat and stuff. Works really, really well. Isn't uncomfortable because it's cool, not hot. It's something I use when my elbows are beat up, my biceps are a bit sore from squatting really heavy. Kicks in really, really fast, and you can see it's just a gel. So rubs in really well as well. You don't need to use a lot. Again, it's made for horses. But see, I got it from the chemist, so it's alright. Like, I'm not... It doesn't have horse steroids in it. They charge a lot more for that. So that's everything going in my gym bag, except I need to go pick up some tape now. The reason I don't deadlift hook with tape, but if you are a hook grip puller, having tape's never a bad idea in case you do tear a callus or something. So you can just tape it up and keep going. Some people super glue it. It opens up most of the time if you do that. So tape it up and then try to keep deadlifting if you can. Obviously, super glue works well. Works all right if you have a callus tear here. But again, I've seen it open up on most people. It doesn't really work. And last thing before I head off, I see people slamming these, right? Powerade, Gatorade, Maximus, whatever it may be, really good for comp day, but you don't need to be drinking it straight, right? So what do? 1-to-1 ratio of Powerade and water. I go 2-to-1, but I haven't cut weight or anything. So today I'm going 2-to-1 ratio. It just makes it a little bit easier to absorb, a little bit less, a little bit less tough on the stomach. Drinking 1 or 2 of these can be tough. You don't want to have the runs or anything or heaps of gas on the day. So mixing in your water helps prevent that. So today I'm going 2-to-1, 2 liters of water, 1 liter of Powerade. Generally, if you've cut weight or anything, or you've had to restrict food, 1-to-1 ratio is really good. Instead of slamming straight Powerade. Bloop, 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 bloop. And I'll just sip on that all day, make sure I'm getting my electrolytes in. Got a little bit of magnesium and stuff like that. Nothing crazy, but good for you. I will catch up with you there. I'm gonna go weigh in now a couple hours before. Generally, I do a 24-hour weigh-in, but because it's just qualifying for Nats and I'm doing Pro Raw and everything, I'm not trying to make weight. I'm 124 at the moment. Ideally, I come over just over 125 because I'm gonna be heavier for the Nationals anyway, because your boy's gonna be big for Pro Raw. Watch your space. But I will catch up with you in the car or something. I will see you soon. Thank you, Kate. Peace out. Bye. Mwah. So a couple of things I forgot in that video, by the way, in the bag, just to start, is one, don't smash pre-workout on comp day. You're gonna be real nervous already, especially if you're newer to comps. Now, again, I'm super chill today because it's not, I don't have any big expectations, I'm not going super heavy, but I'm still a bit nervous, right? And I've competed a lot and for a long time. So that's one thing you factor in. Don't smash pre-workout because people tend to cook their squats a lot, then the form goes out and everything. A little bit of caffeine should always be in your gym bag and is your best friend. So this is 200 milligrams. I pop 2 of those, 400 milligrams, and I'm set for the day. The other thing is, I realized when we left, I was like, oh shit, I forgot it. I always, except today, I always bring my own chalk. I never know what the chalk's gonna be like on the day. Generally, I don't have an issue. Like, I've never really gone to a comp and it's had bad chalk, except for once. And I'm not gonna name and shame or anything. So I always bring my own chalk just in case. And if you deadlift with talc powder, bring talc powder. I don't deadlift with talc powder. I think you don't need to. But if you do, bring it. Don't trust that it's gonna be there on the day. That's something people bring themselves. So just a couple of things extra I should have added in for y'all. Yeah, that's right, y'all. Don't give me that look, bro. Don't give me that look.
You have literally never said
I have said y'all.
Time I've known you.
I have, and I do at the gym all the time, okay? Just ask people. So I don't need to make weight or anything. Whoop, wrong gear. I don't need to make weight or anything. I'm gonna go in a little bit heavy. I expect to be about 125 and a half, 126. I was under 125 this morning, but I've eaten, I've had water and stuff. I'm super chill on comp day. I just kind of hang with my friends, make lots of jokes, do my list, and then only get serious when I really need to. Focus on the last warm-ups because it starts getting heavy, but you don't need to burn out. You don't need to get there, put your headphones on, be like, oh man, I'm all day getting hyped up. It's a quick way to burn out. You want to have a bit of fun, take the pressure off competing, and just be able to bring it when you need to. A lot of the time when people are super hyped all the time and they're super focused all day and they're in the corner and you know, they're, oh God, I'm the best and I'm gonna focus and put all these expectations on themselves. By the time they get to deadlifts, again, there's nothing wrong with that, but by the time they get to deadlifts, they don't have a lot left in the tank mentally. It's better to pace yourself, have a little bit of fun, and be able to bring that, switch that on when you need it, but not have it there all day. That's a really big tip. Competing is very much a skill. The more you do it, the better you get at it. With that said, you know, you can't compete all the time and peak, because when you're peaking, you're realizing your strengths, and unless you're really new, you're not actually going to be getting much stronger. Like off seasons and volume blocks are very important. So I think 2 to 3 comps a year is a really, really good set point. Or if you're like me and you're going heavy, even in your off season heavy, you know, not going maximal, but keeping the numbers relatively up there in your off season, you could do 4 or 5 comps a year. Just don't peak. Like I trained on Friday. I just didn't do my accessory day this week, but we didn't drop the volume really or anything this week, and I'll be training tomorrow. The goal is to hit numbers I can do that with. So if you need more comp experience, the best thing you can do is sign up for comps and just stroll in there and use it as a heavy day for your training week. That means not going above 7 or 8 RPE, not shooting for new maxes. It's literally just getting that skill. Lifting heavy in the gym and lifting heavy in competition in front of people are 2 very, very different things. So getting your experience on comp day is really important. Then you can control your nerves better. You learn what you respond to better. You learn to lift in front of a crowd. You learn to lift on different equipment in a different area in a gym and that, and you won't be as intimidated when you are going heavy. You won't be freaking out when you are going heavy, right? So it's something I recommend people, if they do, especially if they have the money, to do that as often as they can. Compete a few, like 4 or 5 times a year, but just don't go heavy. You really then only have 2 proper comps a year, right? The rest are just practice, and you just factor it into your training week. No time off, no deloads or anything. Anyway, with that said, I'm pretty tapped out for advice right now, but I'll catch up with you when I get there. Blah. Blah. Blah.